Do I think that the St. Louis Blues will be a good enough team to make it to the playoffs next season? Or is this going to be a complete rebuild? I'm going to tell you what I think coming up here on Locked on Blues.
You're Locked On Blues, your daily podcast on the St. Louis Blues. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to Locked On Blues. I'm your host of Locked On Blues, Haley Taylor Simon, talking to you all things about our St. Louis Blues here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. On today's episode, I will be talking about, is this a playoff contending team next season? Or is there going to be a complete rebuild that's going to have to take place? I can't get over Kyrou. What about him can I get over? I'm going to explain. And coaching will be fine, okay? I know with the hiring of, Ruby to the Leafs, there was a lot of emotions that came out of me. Valid. I'll talk about it in more detail when I go to that segment. Before I dive into today's episode, I want to let you know that today is brought to you by Indeed. There is no I in team, but there is one in Indeed, and that's the hiring platform you need to build yours. Start hiring now with $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hire? You need Indeed. So, is this a playoff contending team season? What do I mean by that? Well, last season, the Blues went in, and there was a chance that they could have been a wild card team. And I think everyone at the beginning of the season said, yeah, they're contending for that wild card spot, but still contending, and that still counts. When I think about the St. Louis Blues and I think about their future and I think about, what to expect out of them and, the longevity, it's hard for me to pinpoint and say that this coming season will be a playoff contending season. I'm also going based off of the fact that nothing has happened yet. There's been no trades, no moves, nothing. So, yeah, based on this current roster at this current time on May 22nd, no, this is not a playoff contending team next season. Do I think there's playoff contending players on the Blues? Absolutely. Binnington, Parayko, you have Robert Thomas, maybe even throw in Jake Neighbors, okay? You have Krug. I know how you guys feel about him, but he's a playoff player, right? He's had that experience before. And even Kyrou, I feel like would turn it up in the playoffs. But as a whole, do I think that this team is it? And the answer is no. No, I think that they could get to that level 100%. I think that, acquiring, some better demon, some good guys, the blue line, get a sniper, and you know what I'm saying? But it's a really difficult situation because you evaluate these players individually. And individually, with any single player on any single team, not even just the Blues, you can always find a pro about them, right? And then you have your cons. But there's always something that makes them good, right? You could say that guy's really good on the penalty kill. That guy's really good at assists and playmaking. That guy has speed and is able to be an enforcer. There are so many different things that you can really justify about a player as an individual. The thing with St. Louis is, and I've said this before in other podcasts and, just talking around to friends and people, even in the industry, it only takes the Blues to get two different players, maybe one, but I think two, to turn this team around. You need to get a top D-man, defenseman, see, words. And then you need to get that sniper. And I think once you have that, you install the sniper on the third line. I think that's the line that needs the most work on. And then you shift things around. But it's really frustrating because this team has such potential. And I think that this season we saw that. I mean, obviously we're the 16th team in the league, which means that we're the best worst team. Yay. But it's only going to get worse because teams below us are making moves and trades and they're grinding, okay? And I think that if the Blues fall too far behind, they're not going to be able to surface again. What do I mean by that? Well, let me explain. This past offseason, the Blues had an opportunity to really expand their team and do some big, big things because we all thought Doug was cooking. He didn't cook at all. Like, he turned the boiling water on and then forgot to put the food in it. That was Doug Armstrong. The problem with the Blues right now is that they just don't have And I'm not trying to be harsh because I do respect players individually, but they don't have that solid of a core to where I would feel comfortable saying, oh, well, this core can carry the team. You can't expect Robert Thomas to carry the offense. You can't expect Binnington to cover goaltending and defense. It's very, and I love Parayko, and I know Buchnevich is on the team. I know that they have good players, but in terms of players this season that stood out to me, did Bush stand out to me? No, not really. Did Parayko stand out to me? Yeah, and block shots he did. I thought he did a great job in that. But a lot of the other guys just disappointed me. You have my boy Jay Folk. He's a question mark because I do truly love how he played. Keyword played this season. I didn't like how he played. I didn't. But in the past, I liked how he played. It just, and Torrey Krug, that's another one where I'm always going to kind of defend him in a way. I think that Torrey Krug gets a lot of hate. Do I think that it's fair about the amount of hate he gets? No. But at the same time, I understand that, there is a factor of, okay, well, he needs to step it up. And I think that the Blues right now, you look at who they have, and it's just not good enough. Maybe these guys will flourish in other teams, which is why trades are really cool because that way, you can benefit both people, right? You benefit the player by giving them a chance to be on a team that could potentially turn into something good for them. And then you get something back that will help out your team. It's very simple logic. But on defense, I told you about Jay Folk. Letty, again, another one that just didn't really stand out. Perunovic, he was fine, but he wasn't amazing. Scandella, same thing. And then Tyler Tucker, I thought he did good. I'm a big Tyler Tucker person, but that's the problem. At the end of the day, you can't tell me that the guys I just named you are guys that are good enough to carry your team to the Stanley Cup on defense. And, it's a tough situation because I do believe at the end of the day that there is talent. Okay. And I know that, we all know that. But the talent just wasn't really showing up. And when it comes to, just, and I'm getting flustered because I'm thinking back to when we won the Stanley Cup. Okay. The best days of my life. And I wish I could make that up, but I'm really not. Oh, it makes me so sad. Oh, Vince Dunn. Oh, good old Vincey Dunny. Petrangelo. Oh my God. Edmondson. Chris Butler. Oh, and we traded Bertuzzo this season to the Islanders. This is what I'm saying. This team was just so special. Oh, it sucks. And I'm not going to act like I'm happy about it because I'm not. But I just really love that team. Why am I thinking? Wait, Wait, was I thinking of the wrong season? Wait. I am cracking up right now, y'all. When I was reading that, I literally don't know why I was thinking of the 2018-19 season. I'm pretty sure that was it? Whatever. I'm just naming random players, honestly. I don't know. I just remember Chris Butler. I liked him a lot. See, this is what you get on this podcast. You get me just rambling about different players of the past that's coming on the top of my mind. Because, okay, when we went to the Stanley Cup, I swear we had Vince. Yeah, we had Vince Dunn 100%. Yeah, I was right. Michael Del Zotto. I forgot we had Del Zotto. Okay. I knew I was missing somebody. Yeah. We had a pretty good team. So, if I seem low energy today, it's not because of you guys. I have just not been feeling 100% lately. And it is what it is. I love talking about the Blues, so my energy is here. I just am not feeling 100%, but the grind don't stop. Let's go talk about my friends over at Indeed because that will make me feel good and give me some energy in it. So let's go talk to you about Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's powerful hiring platform can help you do all of that. With streamlined hiring, with powerful tools, you can find matched candidates. With Instant Match, over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed and match their job descriptions the moment they sponsor a job, according to Indeed Data US. One thing I love about Indeed is it's so easy to use and super beneficial and helpful for both ends of the party. Even better, Indeed's the only job site where you can pay for applications that meet your must-have requirements. Join more than 3 million businesses worldwide who use Indeed to hire great talent fast. Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your post at Indeed.com/locked on. Offer good for unlimited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/locked on. Indeed.com/locked on. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. I can't get over Kyrou, and it's because I was watching this one video. Remember when everybody booed Jordan Kyrou after he made his comments about Berube, and like everyone was like really mad at him, and then he had like a really great game, like the following game, I think, and I think he was like what the second star of the game. He was one of that, and he came out and he was like, "I bleeping love you, St. Louis," and basically just went on a whole like cussing spree, but in a positive way. I can't stop thinking about that. I don't know why, but it bothers me a lot. And not what he said about Berube and not about, fans being upset, but about the growing up that he did over the season. I think that with any athlete, if you get put in a position where you're kind of under the bus and the fan base is mad at you, mentally that must be very challenging and a difficult thing to deal with. Kyra dealt with it in a very mature manner, and I think that we were just seeing him grow up. I know he's 26 now, and I know that, that's a part of life. Like, I'm 25, I get it. That's, on point. But it just, I can't get over that even happened, that the fan base turned on him essentially. And he's had it really hard in the NHL. Like, I don't remember a point in time where he had a season where people weren't mad at him, always saying how much he sucks. Like, it's one of those things where I have to wonder, why do so many people dislike Kyrou? I like Kyrou. I think that he is a good athlete. Do I think he could be better? Absolutely. Am I going to have high expectations for every single player? Absolutely. Even Robert Thomas's games where I even said, like, I don't like what I'm seeing out of him and this is not good. So I think at the end of the day, the problem that I have is the fact that we need to treat our players better. And I know we do, St. Louis, and I know that's not like us. And I love you and I love us and I love everything about, this fan base. But I can't even imagine like what that was like for Jordan Kyrou. And, watching the videos of it now, I'm like, oh, that was like only 8 months ago. It wasn't that big of a deal. But it was a big deal. I mean, granted, getting booed and like that's just something that always kind of irked me the wrong way. But again, he did take the responsibility and he did say and he did own up to the fact that, hey, you know what? I shouldn't have said what I said about Craig Berube. Number one, which we knew. But number two, he also then didn't have any resentment towards the fans. It wasn't like he said, oh, you guys, you guys suck. Like you're so, he didn't attack. Instead, he took a mature approach and said, you know what? I bleeping love you, St. Louis. And I don't know if that's just me, overthinking to the whole situation, or if it's me just gaining a lot of respect for how Kyrou handled himself. But I am so happy that he is on this team. And I can't stop thinking about it. I'm sure we're going to talk about it again this summer because that was a pivotal point. I mean, after he said that and the fans booed and all that, he began playing really good hockey. So that was like, I told you can always find pros and cons and everything. That was the pro, that he began playing good hockey. The con was it took him to make a comment that annoyed everybody. It annoyed the players because we saw those quotes, and it just was a bad situation. So, all right, I want to talk to you about some stuff with coaching. But first, I'm going to give you a reminder. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel down below. It's so easy. Just hit that subscribe button. Literally, it helps me out so much in ways that you don't even know. And I want to get it to 1,000 before the draft. So let's go see a subscriber count right now because I always have my little subscriber count up live because your girl has goals and I'm trying to hit those goals. So we have 912 subscribers right now. Let's keep it going. Let's get to 1,000. And again, make a fake account, subscribe. I don't care. Just say what's up and chill with this podcast. I talk Blues hockey for a living and it makes me the happiest. And there's so much to discuss, which brings me to my next point about coaching will be fine. I tend to overreact sometimes when it comes to certain things. And somebody made a great point. They left a comment on one of my episodes and they said, I know this is your podcast with your opinions, but I think it's going to be okay. And it got me thinking, first off, thank you for respecting the fact that I'm sharing an opinion on something and this is not a factual, this is a factual podcast in a sense of the information about the players and the prospects and history, but this is also very opinion based, right? And I think that when I'm coming up with certain, topics that I want to talk about, these are topics that interest me that I'm hoping interest you as well. So when it comes to the coaching, yeah, I think it's going to be fine. And the reason why I said it was the biggest mistake the franchise has made is because I truly believe that Berube's a coach that could have gotten this team back on track if they got the right players. I don't think any coach is going to change how this team played this past season. I don't. You could have Paul Reese, coach this team. They're still going to be the same. You can have Peter Laviolette coach this team. Guess what? It's still going to be the same outcome. So I don't want all these excuses of, hey, Hale, it's literally going to be okay. It's the players that need the adjustments. And by adjustments, I mean trades. Simple as that. And, I'm not also trying to say that coaching is very important, obviously, but it's hard to coach a team that is missing fundamental parts to it. Power play, penalty kill, defense. So I think once the Blues get that, then yes, coaching this team won't be, I don't want to say problematic, but it won't be as difficult. So on that note, that is today's episode. I will talk to you tomorrow more about prospects and more about some things going around the league that will impact the Blues. Hopefully I will feel better. It has just been some of those couple days. All right. I will talk to you. And like always, let's go Blues.